Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ridgeway, Virginia for the Paperclip, the famous half-mile short track here, Martinsville Speedway, the third to last race into the NCS truck division. The Blue Emu 200 coming to you live. 75 laps around this wonderful Paperclip track. Inside the booth, we have none other than the driver third in the Cup Series standings, Christopher Marnell. Chris, how are you doing today?
How you doing, Tyson? I'm keeping well. Looking forward to this double-header weekend here. An interesting one. Looking forward to getting in the Cup Series car right after this race, but looking to chill out here for a while and have a fun little one here.
All right. That is certainly what's interesting here today. We are Sunday morning, a noon start, where these drivers are hopping in the truck. It's supposed to be a Wednesday night race, but torrential rainstorms pushed us back to Sunday. We have plenty of drivers that will be doing the double here today. Bunch of Cup regulars leaching into the car, as well as some truck drivers doing their double duties as per usual. There's the point standings as they scroll on through. Logan Williams still your points leader. Nothing has changed there. But he starts towards the back. Chris, Logan Williams and LJ Toledo start towards the back. Do you think that'll be something to watch out for today?
For sure, we know how quick those McKean DAF trucks have been all season long. Just look at the point standings. But a tough starting position here at a short track for them today. So it'll be interesting to see if they can work their way through the field with that good equipment.
Alrighty, let's take a look at our starting lineup for today's race. Michael Guthrie and Nelson Reeves, two Cup regulars, starting 1-2 on row 1. Craig Martin, Junebug, starting row number 2. Joku Lathine and Jerry Chen doing double duty there in row 3. Kason Cooper and Matthew the Gaming God sitting in row 4. Ryan Little and Grayson Collins in row number 5. Alex Light and David Deegan sitting there in row 6. Umar Al-Kim qualified third in the Cup race, but he starts 13th here today alongside Harry Crooks. Ocean Lemon and Roberto Crown Jr. sitting in row there. Braden Sigafos and Ricardo Garcia sitting in 17th and 18th. And then in row 10, it's Oliver Askew and Jack Davis. Luca Armal sitting in 21st. Rue Sharp in 22nd. He's also doing the double. Henry Guo and Riley Gorse make up row number 12. Colden Doyle, Ashley Pantera make up row 13. Spencer Davis and Henry Miles make up row 14. Kyle Vaughters and Logan Williams in row 15, as we mentioned earlier. Williams starting further to the back here. And then Brett Bishop, LJ Toledo, Exploder, and Joy Paints round out the field. Chris, what's strategy looking like for today? What are we going to be seeing out on the track? So it's a little overcast right now, but it should clear up later.
Yeah, well, that could help drivers here early. Colder tires, don't wear them out too quickly. But you could see some cold graining at the same time, so they will have to be careful of that too. 75 laps, so you could see plenty of caution, so that could play into the strategy. No pit stops are needed, though, for these trucks. They can make it on fuel. And a green flag pit stop will cost you 2 laps, so keep that in mind.
Alrighty, Michael Guthrie, Nelson Reeves leading them down to the green flag here. We're off and underway in Ridgeway, Virginia. It's no secret that the bottom line is king here. Michael Guthrie takes the position away, and we already have LJ Toledo being put into the wall by Joy Paints. No caution. We stay green.
Just to start, that team didn't want already at the back and even further off the pace now. No caution to help them catch up either.
Very interesting that LJ Toledo being put in the wall right there early in the race. And from somebody that we didn't expect either, Joy Paints really hasn't shown much aggression to anybody this season, let alone LJ Toledo. Would have assumed it would have been someone else, maybe Jerry Chen, maybe Ocean Lemon, who would have put the 46 in the wall. But alas, the 24 dropping back positions there on that high lane still hasn't been able to find a way to get into the bottom.
Yeah, this right here could be a recurring trend that you see throughout this race. Cars trying to make a move, and more often than not, the defending car will just hug that inside line. And he could try to make a move to the outside, but more than likely he'll just end up getting freight train there, like the 24 truck has.
Here's the 56 of Ocean Lemon there's on the outside of Braden Sigafos. And I mean, I think the 24 of Reeves, he's just out there having a good time. He's having fun. I don't think that there's no incentive for him to drive the best. Obviously, you want to keep the truck clean, but if he's out here, he's really just getting some notes down for the cup race because it is directly after this.
Yeah, exactly. You got a lot of drivers coming down to this point of the season that have been able to find their way into Open Cup seats, or drivers that are leeching down, like Michael is for my team this weekend. So there's a vast majority of the field here who are. Oh, as a caution comes out.
Caution comes out. We're going to take a look and see what it is, and we have a
Oh,
pile up on the front straightaway. Kyle Vaughters and I believe other trucks involved, and that brings out our first yellow of the day. And you can see LJ Toledo right there. That definitely helps him because he was way off pace.
yeah, that's answered his prayers.
We're going to take a look at this replay. Chris, what do you think happens? We have Ricardo Garcia right on that back bumper, the 81,
Ooh.
gets loose, just turns him around.
Yeah, just not really enough space here to try to take it 3 wide. And as you see there, the 30 car there, Ricardo just hooks the unfortunate Roberto Crown, gets spun around a couple of times. And at Martinsville, there's not a lot of space to try to avoid incidents either, so you usually end up seeing a couple pile in.
Fortunately, those two drivers able to continue. Ricardo Garcia already holding no punches as he tends to talk a lot over the radio, and it seems like his talking has really come to his front bumper today.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Martinsville. You expect to see a bit of aggression from all the drivers out there, even those you don't really expect it from. So it's no surprise to see the regulars such as Nitto getting involved early on here.
Guthrie, Martin, Latham, Cooper, and Little are going to be your top five as we go back racing here on lap 13 of 75. Green flag back out. We're underway here in Martinsville. Little already tried to make a move to the bottom lane as the entire line checked up. That sent Junebug to the outside, and now the 0-0 is fighting for his life as he's under attack from Spencer Davis. That's Alex Light, excuse me. He's in the 0. On that 14 of 75, the 19 tries to stay content in the back bumper. The 08 slides up the track that allows Case and Cooper to go underneath him. That could be a battle for third place there. Cooper backs out as they enter turns 3 and 4. Another yellow as it looks like we have another incident on the front straightaway. Sigafo is getting bounced around, and the caution will come out yet again here on lap 15. And Garcia running into him at the end. I believe we may have seen the same sort of at crash here with the 78. We're going to take a look at this replay. But it looks like the 58 getting right underneath the 78 and just turns them around, really. 27. Ooh.
Yeah, a lot of hits there on the rear quarter of that car. Hope they don't. And there's another one there from Nitto. Just got to hope they don't have any tire rubs if they can get that sorted out in the pits.
It looks like the 78 was trying to go low to make a move underneath, and the 58 was just following his line. Hard hits for the 02 and the 27, who are just trying to stay out of the carnage. But it is Martinsville. It's not like you need much aerodynamic help. So they should be able to repair those cars with no real loss to speed.
Yeah, exactly. You're pretty low speed here anyway. A lot of the grip that you get is mechanical, and the other thing as well is that it's such a short track and no banking, so you don't really get up to any real high speed. So any contact, while it may be heavy, it's only relatively speaking in comparison to other tracks. So you should be able to continue from most hits.
Michael Guthrie and Craig Martin. They're 1-2. Green flag goes back out. A late jump for Guthrie sends them underway. We're on lap 20 of 75. Diving into turn 1. Looks like we've got 2 wide, 3 wide nearly for 5th place. That might not end well for those guys.
Too early for that kind of stuff.
On to lap 21 of 75. And a little bit of a love tap from LJ Toledo sends Jack Davis in the corner. They're able to get it going. And caution comes out. The 78. Stopped on the track, went Sigafos again.
God, we've seen seems to be the same drivers every time. It's like deja vu.
And Jack Davis, unfortunately, involved in that one. He was an innocent bystander. We'll take a look and see what happened. So we're going to follow the 17 here. Looks like we had a stack up in the corner. They were able to get it going. They were going so slow that 17 was spun. He was able to just stop. But then the 78 was stopped right in the middle of the track.
Yeah, let's see what happened to him.
He bounced off the inside wall with help from Riley Gorse. Reverses back up the track, and that doesn't exactly bode well if you're going too wide, full speed right at him.
Yeah, and especially at the end of the straight there, that's like maximum velocity, so that's as hard as a hit as you can get at a track like Martinsville.
We have a few cars coming down pit road, mostly to just repair some things. We're getting word from the garage. 17 is going to go to the garage, and the 46 of LJ Toledo has an engine problem. They're wheeling it back to the garage. We're going to hear more about that if we can, but the 46 has a mechanical issue, and we'll be going into the garage to try to get that fixed.
That's huge in the championship battle there. Third in points, I believe. And
They were third in points entering today.
Yeah, and 3 races to go. You really need to keep on top of it throughout all 3 of these races. So that's going to be a huge blow for their potential championship bid.
But it's Michael Guthrie, Craig Martin, Joku Lathine, Kason Cooper, and Alex Light who lead him back to the green flag here. Lap 27 of 75. Into the inside goes Joku Lathine, making a move on Craig Martin. And caution has come out yet again, and we have a spin on the back straightaway. It's the 99 and 29. Cautions breed cautions, as they say, and the yellow comes out for the 4th time today. So take a look at this. This was on the start. Ashley Pantera bounced off the wall and spun it around. Able to get it going, but they were throwing the yellow for this incident. Looks like the 99 spun the 55 into the 29, and those guys spun around to bring out the yellow.
Yeah, it looks like Ashley Pantera just didn't give it enough wheel there. She was trying to get it going. Kind of as the caution was, or as the green flag was going out, she was just kind of in the middle of the corner, gave it a bit too much gas. But in terms of the other incident, you just see that sometimes where people know it's a short track, so sometimes the best times to make up positions is on a restart, so people get hella aggressive. But the problem with that is you've got 3 or 4 cars maybe going for the same piece of real estate on track, and that's never going to work out.
Guthrie, still your leader. It'll be a restart on lap 34 of 75. Chewing through the laps here at Martinsville. Green flag comes back out. Yet again, they roar into turn number 1. Want to take a look at the side? We have a new side ticker with Guthrie in the front. 3 wide on the back straightaway. I don't know if this is going to work out.
Oh.
As we've got drivers coming down pit road. It looks like it's the 20, the 00, 36, the 14. Multiple guys coming down pit road. So we have our points entering today's race on the top. Logan Williams is your points leader, but he could lose some ground to the 00 and the 71, who have been looking pretty strong here today. LJ Toledo's out of today's race.
Yeah, Case and Cooper there in 4th place. There's kind of the story of the season, I suppose. Started off so well, running his own truck. Went to a GRT once that spot opened up with Norris Andrews departing, but just hasn't had that same form since he's switched teams. Something about that team just hasn't clicked this season, and he's been getting into dust ups off the track as well and on Twitter. So it's just kind of, I think the pressure really has just gotten to Kayson's head this season. So it'd be nice to see if he can recoup himself and regather himself for next season. But then again, the fight isn't over just yet for Kayson. He's still got a chance here, and he's running well this weekend. So that could be the spark that his championship needs.
He's sitting right there in third place. He got around Craig Martin, and the 08 is right in his sight lines as he's going to go underneath the 08, going to try to make a move for second, and he does. Look at that, Kayson Cooper making his way to second place. They're going to be side by side down the back straightaway. As Guthrie finally gets around Jerry Chen, who is being a bit annoying, not wanting to budge. Caution comes out, though. Oh, into the wall goes Logan Williams. Huge implications.
I think he's lost an engine. I think that's him done.
It looks like, here's the replay here. He was drifting in the corner, losing a lot of speed. Oh my.
Yeah, he definitely had a mechanical issue there. Just no acceleration coming out of the corner. Could have been a transmission or something. But yeah, he was just dead on the track there. Nowhere to go there for the SunTrust truck. And huge hit there, yeah.
And you can just hear no power from the 64 right there, and then just gets bumped into the wall. And that's very unfortunate for the 12, the 10, and the 02, who just get knocked into there. And with the huge cloud of smoke, the 64 is going to be on pit road, and I believe that is the day done for Logan Williams.
Terrible day for DAF, as we were saying coming into this one. You know, started towards the rear, quality didn't go their way, but we said that they have some good trucks, and we were expecting them to make their way through the pack. But man, sometimes you just have days like that where things outside of your control, like engines or cautions or other drivers, reckon you just don't go your way. And today was one of those days for DAF and McKean.
And the 64 was moving his way up through the field. He was up to 12th place on the track, and then unfortunately gets bogged back down. Well, it's going to be Guthrie, still your leader, with Cooper, Martin, Lathine, and Umar Al-Kheem, your top five. We're going to go back to Green Flag Racing on that 45 of 75. Lathine's going to look underneath the 19 and into the wall goes the 19. A little bit of a cheap shot there as the 19 hits the wall, and that brings out the yellow.
I was about to say here, 30 laps to go, you're past the halfway point. You might start to see drivers getting a little bit more aggressive there. Didn't even have the time to get it out of my mouth there before Choku Lathian had dispatched the 19 truck.
So we're going to take a look at this replay right here. Just sends it underneath and just sends him up the track.
Yeah, Martin didn't quite get down into the corner. Obviously, Joku did. Was just able to take that line from under him, and didn't really give him any room on exit either. And that was the 19 into the wall.
And it's not like with that sort of line, I don't think the 08 would have made the corner exit. So very aggressive from both drivers there. It's going to be a lap 51 restart for Michael Guthrie. He's been the driver up front all day. You mentioned earlier it's going to be hard to pass up front. Well, can Kayson Cooper give anything for this lime green truck of Michael Guthrie? Into turn one they go. The 71 has the 08 right behind him. We know how aggressive Joku's been. Underneath the 71 goes the 08.
No contact this time. I think Kayson saw him coming, and as I was saying earlier, Kayson fourth in points. He's just got to keep his nose clean here and try to get himself a nice points haul. He can afford to let the 08 go. The 08 hasn't had the greatest of seasons. He's just looking for a good result here.
The 08 hasn't exactly had the best season, but I mean, we've seen drivers that have just been mid-pack, and they're doing relatively solid in points. I mean, Joku Lathian was 14th in points coming into today's race. He's now currently sitting in second. Here's Nelson Reeves getting around the 71 as we have the 30 of Ricardo Garcia taking off the hood to try to see if they can get some speed. Goes a lap down, unfortunately. Not sure what the strategy call is there for the 30 truck.
Yeah, a bit of weight reduction, I suppose.
But it's the 23 for CRT still out in front. Guthrie has a commanding lead over Joku Lathine. The 24 of Nelson Reeves back up to third. We saw he lost quite a bit of ground on the opening start. He's worked his way back up, showing that he's had speed. Umar Al-Kim sitting in fifth. He's had a solid run up through after his qualifying. The 09 of Harry Crooks into the wall on the front straightaway. He's going to get passed by the 02 and 20.
Currently stuck in a bit of a CRT sandwich there, but works his way out of it.
14 of Colden Doyle. We haven't heard from him much all season. He's just been relatively quiet. It's the 20, another truck that rotates drivers after Zachary King was unceremoniously tossed from the seat due to some no-no words on Twitter and voice comms, to say the least. But
Yeah,
with the HRT development crew sitting in that seat, I mean, the 20 hasn't done that bad.
yeah, no, there's been some good results in that truck. You know, we've seen that those drivers do have some talent in them. We've seen obviously truck wins for them with the HRT equipment and in Cup Series as well. So they're obviously a force to be reckoned with, and be interesting to see how they run here tomorrow. Now, well, especially Rue Sharp since he's gotten himself some laps in for the race later on today.
On board with the 77, this is Joy Paints, who gave a little bumper to the LJ Toledo machine on lap 1. Has been relatively quiet. Again, all season hasn't really shown that much speed, but she's kept her nose clean and worked her way through the field. Currently sitting in 7th place at the moment, if my math is correct.
Yeah, solid run up there through the pack considering lap 1 she was right down there at the back with LJ in that little incident.
Still Guthrie out in front as we move to our side ticker. The 30 of Ricardo Garcia sitting in front. I would say Garcia is going to give room to Guthrie when if and when the 23 catches, but you never know. That's a wild card there. Little wild child in that 30 car.
Yeah, this race, in fact, is kind of giving me throwbacks to one of the races that I ran in season 1 in the Pinties. Probably one of the most frustrating races of my career. At the race that Ricardo actually ended up winning. You know, he just dominated the race, stayed out front. You know, the cautions were all obviously then behind him in the mid pack and further back, and he was just able to run a clean race and led all the laps in that one and dominated really. And it's been a similar performance here from Michael. Again, just kept his nose clean, stayed out front, and let everyone behind him squabble over the minor positions as he holds down first.
And that's really just what you want to do. Here's Riley Gorse. He is sitting in 5th place in points, doing pretty solid on track. 2 laps down in 25th, though, for the 16 truck. He's had to hit quite a few times. He definitely needed a good points day as well. A little dark horse contender for the championship, but we'll see how the points pair out. We'll get the official cut down from the NCS officials later after today's race when the standings release. We'll see how far behind people are, who's in the danger zone, and who is officially eliminated. Remember, you got to be, after today's race, you'll want to be at least 100 points within the 64. But if you want a shot at that title, you've got to be within 50. Because if you got to be within 50, and even then, I would say you want to be within 30 points. Because we don't get a full field here in the trucks.
Yeah, for sure. Because of the way the point system works, even if you have a bad day down in towards the, relatively speaking, what's the back of the pack, you're still looking at kind of a 30th place finish or better, I suppose. So it's really not exactly a terrible points day, all things considered still. So long as you're sitting, 25 points out in front, you can afford to let a few points slip, have a bit of an off day, and you'll still probably keep points to whoever's behind you, just because the gaps between a win and a bit of an off day in the Truck Series just isn't as vast as that in the Cup Series.
Yeah, as the Cup and Truck, they have the same standardized point schedule or point system. So you'll be seeing drivers. I mean, you'll finish last here, which will likely be either LJ Toledo or someone else. If you finish last, you're still getting 34th place position points. It's not like you're finishing last and getting 1 point. You're getting 34th place, which is 14 points. It's not too bad.
Yeah, 13 points for 6 or so places there. So it's a big jump there down towards the bottom of the points, which is kind of one thing that I think a lot of people kind of forget about.
And with Guthrie in the lead right now in 23 on lap 71 of 75, 5 laps to go for Michael Guthrie out front. Guthrie's going to steal those 50 points for a win, which means because if Guthrie steals those, that means it's going to be a very interesting points day. Look at that gap that he has with Ricardo Garcia leading the way in front of him.
Yeah, he's a short track specialist. That's his bread and butter, Michael, and he's really shown it here now. Cup Series veteran of 2 seasons at this point, coming down to trucks and showing them what he's got. One thing you do have to remember, though, if you're someone like Case and Cooper, you're having a really good day, sitting top 5. You're going to get some points over the likes of Logan Williams and LJ Toledo, who are out of this race. Like you say, down towards 34th in points, maybe only picking up 15 or so. So even though Michael Guthrie's taking a win here, that really doesn't play into Cooper's season, because of the fact that it's Michael who's a Leach driver, so he's not in contention for any sort of championship. So Kaysen's just got to focus on the drivers ahead of him, who currently are way behind them.
1 lap to go here, sponsored by Limeade Media for Michael Guthrie. He's dominated the race, led all 74 laps. He just has 1 more to complete. He is way out in front, 3 seconds in front of Joku Lathine. Guthrie didn't win in the NCS Sim Racing Challenge. Should have won at Mansfield, we thought. Doesn't matter. Guthrie comes down to trucks. He's going to win at Martinsville for the Blue Emu 200.
Awesome stuff.
With the team owner up in the broadcast booth for today, man, that is certainly a very special win. Guthrie and CRT getting that grandfather clock. The first of 2 that are being distributed today.
Yeah, first truck win for us as well, right?
Yes, that's correct. First truck win for CRT as a team.
What an awesome way to do it here. Historic track, historic trophy. Great sponsor on board as well. Obviously, Lucozade with that Apple Blast scheme that Michael runs for this season. Couldn't have asked for a better result.
Michael Guthrie, Joku Lathie, Nelson Reeves, Kaysen Cooper, Umar Al-Kheem make up your top 5. Umar came from 13th all the way up to 5th. Ryan Little, Craig Martin. Craig Martin made his way back up to 7th after that spin. Joy Paints made her way up to 8th. Spencer Davis 9th. Riley Gorse in 10th. Joy Paint started last in 34th. She made her way up to 8th. That is a driver of the day worthy performance there. Alex Light, Ocean Lemon, Henry Guo, Oliver Askew, Kyle Vaughters, Harry Crooks on the lead lap. Rue Sharp, Ricardo Garcia, Mitchell Collins, Luca Armal all finish laps down. Exploder, Ashley Pantera, Jerry Chen, Colton Doyle, Braden Sigafos, Roberto Crown Jr., Matthew the Gaming God. Junebug finishes 4 laps down after having to come down pit road multiple times. Brett Bishop, and then Henry Miles just kept coming down pit road. He finished 16 laps down. David Deegan finished 31st, Logan Williams 32nd, LJ Toledo 34th, and then Jack Davis 34th. As 2 championship contenders finishing out of the race, and Junebug as well, the driver that was 2nd in points. I think Logan Williams and them, they got saved by Junebug finishing 28th today.
Yeah, tough break for those McKean trucks, but again, tough break for Junebug as well. I think it would be interesting to see how far Case and Cooper catches up with his result.
As Cooper moves his way to third in point standings. So the red line signifies the drivers that have been eliminated from championship contention. And then the drivers in between the white line and the red line signify they are in the danger zone for next week at Myrtle Beach. So Logan Williams, Junebug, Case, and Cooper are currently the only drivers within 50 points of first place. Toledo just outside of it. Riley Gorse, Kyle Vaughters, Sigafos, Garcia, Alkeem, Martin, Lathine, Deegan, and Crown all still have a shot of winning the title. But really, I mean, Riley Gorse has kind of shown a little bit of a resurgence here towards the later end of the season. But if you want me to be honest, if it's not Logan Williams, LJ Toledo, Junebug, or Kason Cooper, something is going to have to go extremely wrong for those four trucks. So we scroll through point standings. Still, it'll be interesting to see if Ryan Little, Jerry Chen, and Jack Davis jump ahead of Dominic Anthony. They have 2 races left to do so. Very interesting. Dominic Anthony has run less races than those guys, but has more points. Alrighty, well, that was certainly quite the race here today. Chris, you guys got the win. What did you think of it?
Thought it was a great race from our perspective, I suppose. Led all 75 laps. Maybe some of the fans in the stands weren't so pleased with that domination, but certainly some exciting moments there in the midfield. A couple of good battles there. Nice performance there from Joy Paints as well. And a couple of exciting wrecks too. Championship battles closed up there with Case and Cooper. Great result for him. He's managed to push his way back into contention in that GRT truck. So good day for some CRT equipment there too. If you want to look at some dark horses, maybe, or maybe some not so dark horses after that race, look at Michael Guthrie, Nelson Reeves, some of the other guys there who were Cup equipment who finished towards the front. Nelson Reeves in the 24?
Nelson Reeves will be in the 12 for the Cup race. Guthrie will be in the 33. Plenty of drivers had good days that will be running in just 30 minutes time. So, as well as you, Chris, will be basically running from here to the garage to get that fire suit on. We wish you the best of luck.
Thanks very much, Tyson. I got to go get suited and booted pretty quick, but still running off of that buzz of this race win. So hopefully looking to make it back to back and sweep the weekend here for CRT.
Alrighty, well, one grandfather clock has already been given out and distributed. We're going to see who wins the next one here in just a little bit. Be sure to tune in to the Xfinity 500 in just 30 minutes time. And from myself, Tyson Gifford up here in the booth, and Christopher Marnell, the CRT team owner, thank you guys for watching today's race, the Blue Emu 200, and we'll see y'all next week. It's going to be Myrtle Beach. We'll see y'all there. It's going to be a fun one.